Okay, let's start sculpting. For this level, for this video, we're going to sculpt this level 1 base head. And the reason that we do this is because in this stage, we just want to focus on getting the general shapes, the general features of the head. So we're just going to hint the temple line, the cheekbone, the chin area, the ears, and we're not really going to get into detail. Now, I want you to think of this as sketching or drawing. So when you draw or when you sketch, if you have, then you know that you don't start with the eyes, you don't start with sculpting the nose, the mouth, because it is very tempting to start going into detail. The reason that we keep everything low poly is because right now you can see that this is not very high poly. We don't have enough geometry to work with. So there is no way that I can sculpt an eye over here. There is no way that I can sculpt nose or nostrils over here. So the point of keeping this low poly is that you don't fall into the trap of adding details. You don't want to add details right now. You just want to get the features of the head right. So once you have the features, you can always adjust the proportions. You can always adjust things to be like your reference. So it's totally okay. You don't really need to focus on a lot of things. You just need to focus on getting a good shape of the head, of getting the features in. That's it. So let's start sculpting this. And we're going to need a UV sphere for this. So just create a UV sphere. And let's go to sculpt mode. Let's turn on symmetry. And make sure that your focal length is, it's set to 100. 100 is a very good focal length to sculpt with. Let me turn on screencast. Okay, so let's just go to the front view and load up your references because there's no point sculpting without a reference. So load up your references, take screenshots, and let's begin. So what you want to do is just get your grab brush and then pull this point down. Okay, just pull it down. Try to get a helmet shape. Something really rough. And similarly to what we did to the skull, you want to push this in and you want to pull this out. Okay, and what this does is that it gives you a flat area over here. So nothing too fancy. Get this chin right. And just move. You can see where the vertices are. So you just need to move these parts around. Let's go to the side view. Now you want to straighten this area a bit. Make it a bit round. Yeah, so I'm looking at the front and the side view and just getting the general shapes. Not really focusing on the details. You need to break this down in your head. And the way that I'm breaking this down, you can see it on the screen. So yeah, don't really need to focus on a lot of things right now. Just focus on getting the basic head shape. And once you have this shape, this base shape, this is okay. Then you want to remesh. So just press Ctrl R and remesh. Whatever the default value is, it should be good. Now we're going to make the neck. So for the neck, just use the mask brush. You can press M or you can equip it from over here. And just mask an area. And don't really worry about how big am I masking or whatever. Just try to mask somewhere in the middle. You can always adjust this. Like I told you, the point over here is to get the features in. Now you just pull this out. And the important thing is that from the front view, you want to make sure that the neck is almost as thick as the jaw. So this is the jaw area. So just make it almost as thick as the jaw. And the reason we do this is because the muscular male figures, they have the neck muscles over here, which add into the thickness of the neck. So if you're sculpting a female, which we will do, by the way, we will turn this into a female as well, then their neck is not going to be as thick as the jaw. It's going to be almost like something like this. Yeah, just make it a bit thick. And then let's clear the mask. Let's remesh again. So yeah, once you've remeshed, what you want to do is, since we're sculpting a bust like this, we have to add in the trap muscles. They look really good. So just pull it from behind. Okay, don't pull it from the side because you don't want to destroy the silhouette of your neck. The trap muscles are behind the neck. So you just want to pull this out from behind the neck. And now you can see this looks much better. From the front, the neck should be straight. And that is because of the neck muscle over here. I will demonstrate that. But yeah, for now, just make the trap area and then just smooth it out. We don't really need a lot of the trap area. We're just doing this so we have a good bust. Okay, let's also add in the triangle shape that I told you about. So this triangle shape is very important, this one. So you can see that this is going inside. We don't want that. So just use the clay strips brush and add some geometry over here. Like pull this area out. And when you smooth it, you're going to see that it's starting to form the triangle shape that I told you about. Okay, so this is really important, very important. Also, let me show you the neck muscles. So it's called the sternocleidomastoid muscle. And I don't really focus on remembering the names. I don't put a lot of effort into it. But yeah, I watched a lot of Nico videos. I bought his course. I learned a lot from him. And he repeats this muscle so many times that I remember the name now. Sternocleidomastoid muscle. So it's this muscle, this fan-shaped muscle. Yeah, you can see that it attaches behind the ear, and then it attaches to the sternum and the clavicle. That's why it's called, and this part is called the mastoid. Superior, I don't know. So yeah, that is why it's called the sternocleidomastoid. And from the front, you can see that it almost creates a straight line for the neck. And that is why we make the neck a straight line. So just use the clay strips brush and let's add this muscle over here. It's going to start behind the neck, and then it's going to come and form a V shape over here. And then just smooth it out. We just subtly want to hint this. So just use the draw sharp, and then you can also make it like this. Yeah, in real life, you're not really going to see this muscle unless the other guy is very jacked or his neck is under some sort of tension. That is when you're really going to see this. So yeah, you just use the draw sharp brush, just mark this area, and then over here you want to pull it out using control. So this is where we're going to make the Adam apple. And where does it start? It almost starts in the middle of this length. So there are going to be a lot of variations to this. Just try to get the basic shape, and then you can always adjust it according to the reference that you have. This is good enough for now. Okay, let's add in some of the face features. What you want to do is you want to adjust the shape of the face. So this isn't a very good face shape. Let's look at the head of our character. So just like the skull, we're going to add a lot of features from the skull. So let's taper this a bit. This is the widest area, so it looks good. Let's bring this in a bit. And yeah, let's make the ear. So for the ear, we're going to need more geometry. So let's add a bit more geometry. this should be fine. Let's go to the side view and pick the mask brush again. And what you want to do is you want to get the middle of this length and then just simply mask an area like this. So what height should the ear be? It doesn't matter. Just get it in and then we can always adjust this. We will probably adjust this because you will never get it right the first time. Now there are some other methods to sculpting like the Loomis head method, where you measure everything. Okay, this is 1/3 of this, and then you count. Let me show you. You count these boxes on the grid and everything. And I don't really like that method of sculpting because it doesn't give you any artistic freedom to explore, to make things. It's a very methodical method, which I don't really like. I'm not a fan of it. I don't enjoy sculpting that way. It's a lot to remember. And yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea. So you want to pull this out and you want to really pull this out. Okay, go to the front view and you should pull it out more than you think. Okay, so pull it out and then just try to get a rough shape of the ear. Don't really follow this right now. What you want to do is you want to get a C shape. So it starts low, it comes up high, it comes out, it starts to go in, it comes down, and then it goes up again. This is the kind of shape you want to focus on getting right now. Then go to the side view and then you want to pull this back. So we're going to pull this back. And similarly, we're going to try to get a good ear shape, a basic ear shape. Okay, so it has a similar C shape. And once you're done with this, go to the front view again and then pull this in. And now you want to try getting this shape. So ears are usually very tricky. I used to think that they are very complicated, but when I sculpted them enough, I found a way that it's really easy to sculpt the ears. You will see when we sculpt them. So yeah, just try to get a taper or a diagonal shape like this. Okay, and then just move this around. Yeah, this is the basic ear that you should have for this stage. And now we're going to add in some features like the cheekbone and the temple line, also the chin area. So we're going to use, for the cheekbone, we're going to use a draw brush. The reason that we're using a draw brush is because it creates very smooth shapes, unlike the clay strip brush, which creates lumps. So let's use the draw brush. And where is the cheekbone? The cheekbone almost starts above the ear hole, and then you can see that it has a slight angle to it. It almost goes down a bit. So that is what we want to capture over here. So just use the draw brush and then sculpt like this, just above this point, and then come down. And what you want to do now is you want to hold control and then push the part in. So below the cheekbone, you're going to push it in and then you're going to come down. Okay. So we're just subtly hinting these features. Now this is too narrow. So let's just pull it out a bit. And now you want to take the draw sharp brush. Now let's mark the cheek area, the chin area. So just push this in. So this is what we're trying to make, this area. Yeah, just push in a bit and then go up. Okay, almost like a U shape, and then smooth it out. So you can see sculpting is a lot of adding in things and smoothing things. You're going to see me do this a lot, and you're going to have to do this a lot. So when you're unsure about something, just add it in, smooth it out, add it in, smooth it out. Eventually, you will get it. And now for the temple line, just use a clay strips brush. Now we're going to add this, a bit of this. Let me show you the actual. Yeah. We're just going to add a hint of this. So just simply get the clay strips brush, hold control, push this in. Okay. And you're going to see a lot of variety in the temple line. Some people have it very narrow. Some